Ladies, you need to start having the audacity of a man. I teach manifestation and self-concept work, and the one thing I realize is that men are a lot quicker to level up their belief system than women are because they were taught from a young age to have the audacity. You can be the president, you can be a CEO, you can have millions of dollars, you can buy whatever real estate you want, you can bag all the women. That is how men are raised. They are raised with the fucking audacity. You ever seen a man who is totally out of a woman's league walk right up to her and strike up a conversation because he has the audacity? He knows that woman is out of his league. He doesn't care. He's like, I'm gonna get her. That woman is gonna be mine. His belief system is through the roof. Women are not raised like that. They're meant to be subtle, be more quiet, smile more, be polite, submit yourself, be more submissive, put yourself in a box. That mindset is so fucking destructive. Do you know what the feminine is? The feminine is powerful, fiery, full of rage, totally bold in themselves, totally intuitive, going with the flow, being who they are. They're not supposed to be confined and submissive and put into a box. So I need you to start having the fucking audacity of a man. Every time you start a new project, every time you meet a new person, have the audacity of a white man. There's a reason they get everything they want. It's because of their belief system. Stop being so fucking timid and believe that you can have it too.
Playing small is a trap. It feels safe, comfortable, familiar. But it's not safety, it's stagnation. You were not born to shrink yourself to fit inside other people's expectations. You were born to create, to lead, to shock yourself with what's possible when you stop apologizing for wanting more. So today, let's talk about audacity, the power of saying, why not me? Because if you've been dimming your light, this is your reminder to turn it all the way up. Here's the thing about playing small. It doesn't start with fear. It starts with logic. You tell yourself, I'm not ready. It's not the right time. And then, one day, you wake up and realize you've been rehearsing for a life you never actually lived. The world doesn't reward almost. It rewards audacity.
Girl to girl or boy, it doesn't really matter. You have to be audacious. You have to be one audacious human being, one bold human being to succeed at everything, anything in life. I'm telling you, you have to be bold enough to ask for what you want. It doesn't matter in what situation. Every situation, you should be speaking your piece, your opinion. State what you want. If you want a skinny almond, don't let anybody give you a regular almond. You're paying for it. It's your money. If you wanted red, let it be red. If you want a relationship, that's a relationship. Anything else, you shouldn't be accepted. State what you want with confidence. It's the reason why people say, even when you're not confident in what you're saying, speak your rubbish in confidence. Because once people sense a lick of shakiness in your tone or your voice, that little bit of doubt, completely done, over, done with. You need to be confident in you, your choices, your thoughts. You might not always be right. You should always stand to be corrected and take correction, but state your piece either way. Whatever you want out of life, you need to be bold enough to demand it. To be honest, if you cannot demand it, then I don't know if you're ready to even have it. Whatever it is you have on your vision board carries a lot of weight, and you need the right confidence and attitude to carry it on. If you don't start building that right now, you're not even ready for the rooms that you say that you want to step into. And that's just the truth.
Okay, here is exactly how you are going to achieve the life that you've always dreamed of. No gatekeeping. Number one, you are going to be delusional. You're going to set the intention of your dream life and you are going to visualize it every single day. You're going to speak like it is already yours. You are going to act like her because you are her. Not in 10 years. You're going to start right now. Number two, you are going to stop asking for advice from people whose lives you do not want. Why are you taking life and business advice from people who aren't living the life that you actually want to live? Number three, you are going to take messy, imperfect action. Not when you feel ready, not when it's perfect. You're going to take small steps every single day. Number four, you're gonna stop telling everyone your plans. Move in silence. When you talk about it too much, get this little hit of dopamine and you essentially in your mind think that you've already done the task and then you actually don't end up doing it at all. Number five, you are going to protect your energy like it's gold. You don't have time for chaos, distractions, or people who drain you. Elevating your life requires a calm nervous system and deep focus. Choose your peace daily. Your dream life is already yours. You're just aligning your daily actions with it now.
As women, we are taught to believe that we need to keep the peace. And oftentimes that means being quiet when we disagree with something because we don't want to upset somebody, we don't want to offend them, etc. You are literally brilliant, but the world doesn't know about that because you're too afraid to speak up. You need some audacity in your life, and here's how I've started to develop audacity in mine. And this is really specific to business school because I'm responding to this comment that's directly talking about school experience. Okay, so the first thing is it's super crucial. Realize the game that you're playing, whether you're in school, work, whatever. Especially as women, we are taught to believe that we need to keep the peace. And oftentimes that means being quiet when we disagree with something because we don't want to upset somebody, we don't want to offend them, etc. To take that mentality and throw it completely out the window. Like, innovation and learning is happening in meetings, whether it's at work, at school, and this is often possible through discussion, especially debate. And so it's like actually even more important that you speak up, especially when you disagree. It can feel really wrong to act like this if this is not your personal disposition, if you're not super opinionated or super willing to engage in debate in your regular life. So it's a mindset shift. Okay, so the second thing is to always understand what's going on. First and foremost, like, you cannot even participate if you don't know what is happening in the meeting. Like, of course, like, how are you supposed to participate if you have no idea, right? So in the past, especially when I was new in consulting, I would often think that, okay, if I don't know what people are talking about in the meeting, I just need to spend some time after work and research it or no, we're not doing that. We don't have time to do that. We need to ask specific questions and raise them in the moment, because that's really the only way that you can get the information that you need. And more often than not, other people are probably having the same questions too, but are also afraid to ask. And so it can be a great learning experience for you to ask questions if you don't know what's happening. And lastly, I think the most important muscle is just developing that habit of speaking even when you don't have a fully formed thought yet. Because I bet if you were put on the spot, you could come up with something that is coherent. That's for sure my issue in business school, because by the time I had a fully formed thought, ready to raise my hand and participate, the moment has passed. Somebody has already said the comment. Something is already, so the moment is gone. And so I really learned to speak up pretty much at the instant that I thought I maybe had something to say, to one, maximize the chances of getting called on, and then two, to just get my reps in of speaking up when I need to. Especially if you're a perfectionist, this sounds crazy as hell. Like, you do not want to be out here just saying things just to say things, but I promise you, what appears obvious to you is oftentimes not obvious to anyone else. You have so much more value to add than you think. And if you don't give yourself that chance to try something new, okay, even if it does go wrong and you do stumble on your word, but like, whatever, you still got your participation points in for the day. That's a win. So here are some tips. Let me know if y'all want to make this into a series.
Somebody said, don't be a loser in your own story. I can't tell you how important the way that you talk to yourself within your head out loud is so important. The world is already tough enough. Social media is already toxic enough. You can't be a loser in your own story. Like, you can't be a loser in your own head. You have to give yourself so much love. You have to affirm yourself so much. And I know it might sound woo-woo and journaling and affirmations and validation, everything like that, but I won't lie to y'all. That's how I began to trust myself again. Here's the thing. Nobody is coming to save you. It's a blessing and a curse. At the end of the day, you have all the ingredients in that cabinet to love yourself again. You are the author of your own story. You have the pen in your hand. You have the complete power to rewrite the narrative that you've been telling yourself in your head. You're never going to get that promotion, that you're never going to find love again, that you're never going to get your dream job, you're never going to lose those 15 pounds. You have to stop saying that, because you're going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Don't be a loser in your own story.
I saw a video yesterday that said life meets you at your level of audacity. And I'm here to tell you, girl, it is true. Because one thing about me, I live my life audaciously. I'm an audacious individual. And I'm going to give you some examples, because if you are not living your life audaciously, if you are not living your life with maximum audacity, if you don't have the audacity to do whatever the hell you want in this life, you need to make some changes, okay? I've had the audacity to move countries. I've had the audacity to move provinces, even when people looked at me like I was crazy. We're talking like 20 years ago, before it was cool to live life on your own terms, okay? I feel like now it's a little bit more acceptable to do those things, but 20 years ago, you were looked at like you were running from something. I had the audacity to slide into the DMs of industry leaders, people that are doing much better than me, people that are much higher than me in the industry that I want to go in, asking for their time, asking for their advice, even asking for a job, which by the way I got, because one thing you need to remember is closed mouths do not get fed. Have the audacity to speak, and speak loudly. I have had the audacity to take jobs that I knew I wasn't ready for, okay? I remember one time sitting in a boardroom overlooking the waterfront of Vancouver, and I actually remember giggling out loud. I literally had to contain my fit of giggles because I was like, how the hell am I here? Michelle, you're not qualified to be here. I didn't even know how to create a PDF. And I was a director of operations. I remember literally laughing to myself. But that's the thing. I always had the audacity. There's the thing about imposter syndrome. It will rear its ugly head, and you literally need to knock that mother effer out. Okay, you need to I even had the audacity to start making TikToks in my 40s and make a career of it, okay? Do you know how many people laughed at me? Many people sent my videos and group chats and laughed at me? How many people from my past laughed at me? Even my baby daddy laughed at me, okay? There are a lot of people. Even my daddy, okay? Even my dad didn't know what the hell I was doing with TikToks. But you know what? I had the audacity. I had the belief in myself. I had the audacity to take a risk and a chance on me. In fact, I have had the audacity to change my career so many times in my adult life where people were literally looking at like, Michelle, just pick something, just okay? But the thing is, I was never willing to settle for a lukewarm life, okay? I was even willing to risk being broke just so I didn't have to stay in a place or a job or a relationship that I did not want to be in. You need to be a little bit delulu. You need to be a little bit crazy. Who cares what people think? Because I don't, okay? Go out there, live your most audacious life, okay? Have the most audacity with your life, because you want to know something? We're all spinning on a rock here, okay? And if you don't want to have the audacity, someone else will, okay? And you'll be there scrolling on your phone and you'll be watching somebody else live the very life that you want. And I know sometimes it's hard because life can trample you down, all right? And you think it's gonna be too hard, or I can't give up this because what if that doesn't work out for me? Babe, if you do not try in the first place, of course it's never gonna happen. Be audacious. You literally deserve it. You literally freaking deserve it.
Stop playing small. Like, in all honesty, stop playing small. Stop watering yourself down. Stop shrinking to fit other people's point of views, opinions, perspectives. Honestly, we don't care about those. Stop tiptoeing around your talents, your dreams, your action plans that you know you need to be working on. Like, just stop. Don't be a tiptoeer.
You need to start acting like the version of yourself you keep dreaming about. Be bold enough to be misunderstood. Be loud enough to be noticed. Be brave enough to take up space. Because your audacity might just be the permission someone else needs to rise to. So, let me ask you this. Where have you been playing small in your life? And what would happen if you decided right now to stop? Because the world doesn't need more people hiding. It needs more people who dare, who show up, who take space, who live with audacity. Your moment isn't someday. Your moment is now.